So Eugene, you have to talk loud.
I have to talk loud?
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
So tell me, you've got a new position at Sundance. How's it different from New York?
So I'm the new director of the Sundance Film Festival. I just started in November, Diane, and I'm still getting my bearings, still finding my footing, and it's been really great because I'm here in Cannes in a new capacity, which is to learn about and discuss the films that are coming later this year, films that will be considered for the Sundance Film Festival in 2024. We'll start watching films really in the next few weeks to consider for an invitation at the end of the year. The lineup is selected in November for the January festival, January 18th to 28th. It's the 40th edition of the Sundance Film Festival. And so a lot of the meetings and conversations we're having here are about learning more about the films by many first and second time directors who will be submitting films to the festival for consideration. Last year, Sundance got 15,000 submissions.
Are you kidding me?
15,000 submissions last year.
How is the viewing process?
God.
The viewing process
you separate,
is
I guess.
the viewing process is considerable. I mean, it's a
15,000.
I know. If people could see you, Diane just gasped. She's like in shock about this number. But Sundance is about international discovery. Sundance is the place that discovers what's next in film, and so it's looking all around the world from those 15,000 films to consider what might be sent to Sundance.
Wow. But do you personally have to see 15,000 films?
It's
Or
impossible.
somebody does
You see a few.
I see more than one, but less than 15,000.
Wow.
We have a huge team. In all seriousness, we have a huge team. Many of whom are here. But we have a huge team that's watching every single film and considering whether it's right for Sundance. And it's a small program. It's only about 100 or less than 100 feature films, about 65 short films. So think about that, 15,000 down to, just 100 and some.
God.
And how do you find like all these first-time filmmakers, like first film, second film? How do you, do they really appear like in the submissions, or are they films that are already coming from? Maybe they were like in the screenwriters lab somewhere, or they were already a script that worked in Locarno, or like all these known already projects.
All of those ways.
All of those
Everything
ways.
you said, like it's totally true. Yeah, everything.
It's a little bit of both.
Our programmers are myself and our programmers were traveling around the world to different festivals. We're watching what's happening in Locarno or in different labs, Berlin Talent Campus, or Berlinale Talents as it's now called. The Cinef here at Cannes, all the programs around the world that are finding and supporting up and coming voices. But then there's folks that are sending films without those backgrounds.
You didn't know, yeah.
So that's why we have to watch everything to consider it, and so we're looking everywhere. That's our mandate at Sundance, is just international discovery. So we have to be everywhere, looking at everything to find out what's happening and what's next in cinema.
And I loved when Robert Redford gave you a really beautiful endorsement. That was so
It was really sweet. Robert Redford created Sundance 40 plus years ago as a place of discovery, as a place of nurturing with these labs for independent voices, storytellers, writers, directors, and he's been steadfast in continuing to support that through the festival, through additional labs we've created. His daughter Amy Redford is also on the board of directors, and she's a very strong voice in continuing this mission. So it's he's like our North Star. He helps us remain focused and keep the artist at the center of everything we do.
And when was the first time you went to Sundance?
First time I went to Sundance was January 1993, a very long time ago, and it changed everything for me. It was like totally eye-opening.
And now you're living between New York and
Yeah, I live in New York. I live in Santa Monica, California, and I spend time in Utah occasionally. I was there a couple weeks ago I have colleagues in all three states. So Sundance has offices and colleagues in all three places.
But you grew up in California?
I grew up in Indio, California, which is near Palm Springs, out in the desert,
Wow.
middle of nowhere.
Thank you.
Thank you, Diane.